Here are the selections for Gulfstream for both Thursday, January the 13th, and Friday, January the 14th. On Thursday, I have 5 selections out of 9 races. Our first selection is in the second race. It's a maiden claimer going a mile on the turf. My selection is number 12, This Cat's Got Class. This Cat's Got Class goes for Larry Rivelli, who's in Jim Mazur's 40% club from the Gulfstream Handicapper. And his Super Karma Merv are with horses making their first start off a 31 to 60 day layoff. That fits This Cat's Got Class to a T. He's also dropping from maiden special weight to first time tag after running at Woodbine 50 days ago, right within the time frame. Adding to the appeal, in addition to the fact that it's first time tag, is This Cat's Got Class is stretching out to a route and going on the turf for the first time, both of which are right up her alley in terms of her Tomlinson numbers. Today, E.T. Baird takes the mount. He scores with 28% of his mounts for Rivelli at a nice $2.29 ROI. So I'll take This Cat's Got Class number 12 in the opener, in the second race. In the fourth race, it's an allowance optional claimer going 6 furlongs. I have a long shot number 12, Quick Notice. Has a legitimate chance, I think. Drops out of a series of non-winners of 3, optional allowance, claimers back to a non-winners of 2. In spite of the fact that she's already won this condition, that's because she runs for a $62,500 tag today. She has deceptively good form. If you look back to previously, last April, he ran here at Gulfstream and he paired up mid-buyer speed figures. His career box here at Gulfstream is 3 starts, a win and a third. Since running an even 4th at Calder off a 6-week break, he's fired a 4 furlong bullet work. I think he looks really sharp today. In the 6th race, I'll double the investment on either the 1 or the 1A, both of which are trained by Wesley Ward. There are several top angles going for these horses, although I have to admit I prefer the 1 Grand Times over the 1A. With 2 separate riders listed on the horses, it looks like they'll both run, so I'm going to get my wish that I can bet on my horse, although it'll probably hurt the price. The lesser half, 1A, is A Centurion. Should go right to the front, back for a claiming tag where he's had success before, and he makes the Super Karma move for Wesley Ward, which is, again, one of the 40%ers, and that is going turf to dirt. I like Grand Times, who is also making the turf to dirt move, but he is much more lightly raced, and today he goes first time for a tag. That's a very powerful class angle. Perhaps you could say it's a negative drop going from allowance company down to a tag today, but I don't see it that way. Grand Times launched his career at Keeneland, where it was second to Mission Impassable, who came back to win the Grade 2 Louisiana Derby. His next start was a dominant win at Calder. Off that effort, he repeated in allowance company. Then he went to the Spectacular Bid Stakes here at Gulfstream, where he showed early speed and then faded, losing to subsequent Grade 2 Jim Dandy winner, A Little Warm. He dropped into allowance company for his final start at 3 and was 4th while making his grass debut, and that day he was 4th behind Bernie the Maestro, who is also a stakes winner. No stakes winner in this field of claimers. I think he looks tough if he's ready off the shelf today, which he should be. So that's in the 6th race. Double the investment on the 1 Grand Times or the 1A A Centurion, both trained by Wesley Ward. In the 7th race is a maiden special. We're back on the turf going a mile. I like Garbaya, who's listed at 15 to 1 on the morning line. Maiden 3-year-olds, that's an iffy proposition, but you know, it looks like this horse should run relatively well, especially at 15 to 1. It's a nice price. He's sent out by Tom Albertrani, 2nd start, and he scores with 21% of those kinds of starters with a nice ROI of $2.38 for every $2 bet. He's got good Tomlinsons. His initial start was a 1-turn mile on the main track. This race should suit him very well, and he's ridden today by Joe Bravo, who won both of the graded stakes on Sunday's card, both on the turf. Bravo is well known for his ability to ride on the turf. So I will take number 10, Garbaya, at 15 to 1. In the 8th race, it's a sprint, 6 furlongs, and allowance, and I'll triple the investment on number 9, Tap for Luck. Debuted in a sprint and was a dominant winner for the team Pletcher with Johnny Velasquez up and earned a 90 buyer. Off that August debut, he came back in October, but that was in the Grade 1 Frizette, going a mile. Off of that, he went in the Grade 3 Tempted, again, going a mile. And off of that, he went 9 furlongs in the Grade 3 Demontswell. second and third in those routes and laid off after the Demons well. Now she comes back as a 3-year-old sprinting, looks much the best in here. So my last investment for Thursday is in the 8th race, number 9, Tap for Luck. Moving on to Friday's card, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 selections. In the opener, it's a 1-turn mile, maiden claimers. I'll take number 2, No Influence, who's the morning line favorite at 3 to 1. I think this is one of those it's a first-time starter for Fletcher, bred for the distance, been working steadily since coming to Florida. No Influence, number 2 in the opener. In the third race, I'll go with Chief Thundercloud, number 7. It's another maiden claiming sprint. It's a Fletcher, second-time starter. Newly turned 3-year-old, that's an automatic bet here at Gulfstream. Drops from maiden special weight in his debut at Monmouth. He's got steady works, but not spectacular works. In the 5th race, it's an optional allowance claimer. Again, we're sprinting at 6 furlongs. I'll take number 4, Sir Henry. There are 9 runners that will face the starter today, and 8 of them do their best work on or pressing quick fractions. However, number 4, Sir Henry, seems to be, except for one race, nothing but a router, and he comes from a mid-pack rallying style on his 2-turn routes. So today, I think he gets the perfect setup under jockey Kent Desormeaux. Should be a ton of speed. I see Sir Henry rallying through the stretch and inhaling the field as he moves to the finish line. He also showed early speed versus better in his last outing. Early speed class drop. That looks like a powerful angle for me. In the 7th, we're on the turf, 8.5 furlongs claiming number 4, I Touch. 3 to 1 on the morning line, I'll double the investment. Lightly raced as he's making only his 4th start of his career. Goes out for Team Fletcher. Broke his maiden in his 2nd start when he was stretched out for the first time and put on the grass for the first time. He then moved into allowance company, stalked the pace for 6 furlongs before giving way. Again, the early speed class drop angle, he looks solid in here. So I will double the investment on number 4, I Touch, in the 7th. In the 8th race, main specials going on the turf, 8.5 furlongs. I'll triple the investment on number 2, Casino Host. He makes just his 2nd start. He's got dynamite connections, goes for Chad Brown with jockey J.J. Castellano up. That's a 23% team. He was absolutely flying in his debut. Came from 10th early to just miss in a runner-up finish in his debut. His adjusted final pace figure was a swift 29-1. I look for him to sit a little bit closer to the pace today than 10th. He should be about mid-pack, and I look for him to kick it in going through the stretch. We should get a pretty decent price, even though he's listed at 3 to 1 on the morning line, because there's a Fletcher starter in here. There's a couple other runners who show good ability, at least it appears to be good form. So I think that we'll get a good price on this Chad Brown runner. Brown is 27% with layoff horses like this, and 22% with his 2nd-time starters. So that's triple the investment on number 2, Casino Host, in the 8th. In the 9th race, a 1-turn mile, optional allowance claiming. This is almost a stakes quality race, as these horses are up for sale for $100,000. And you would think that you would see a lot of horses in here with stakes resumes. However, really there's only a couple that have stakes resumes, except for one, and that's my selection, Sassy Image. You would think that Sassy Image, with her background that I'm about to detail for you, would be one of the morning line favorites, but for some reason she's listed at 12 to 1 on the morning line. So I'll double the investment, hope that maybe we can get 4 to 1 and a double-digit payoff. Sassy Image goes out for trainer Dale Romans, who's 23% with layoff horses like this, and her work seemed to indicate that she's ready to shoot a big race today. She is in this added money race, and if you look at her past performances, well, she debuted in Maiden Special Weight Company, and she won. And right off of her Maiden Special Weight win, she went into a series of 5, count them, 5 consecutive graded stakes races. 4 of them were grade 1s and grade 2s, and she won 2 of those. She came off of a break after that 2-year-old fall campaign, and she ran in a listed stakes race here at Gulfstream, going a 1-turn mile just like today. In fact, she was my best bet that day, and she was a dominant winner. Off of that, she stretched out to 9 furlongs, and she went in the grade 2 Devona Dale. She showed speed for 6 furlongs, and then she faded. Here's the rub. She's been off since that last winter run here at Gulfstream. However, Romans does well with layoff horses. She has been working well, and Kent Desormeaux rides today a 29% rider for Dale Romans. So that's number 5, Sassy Image in the 9th. I'll double the investment. My last selection on the day is in the finale, the 10th race. We're back on the turf going 8.5 furlongs, made in special weights. I like 8 Wet One, who is a double-digit 12-1 on the morning line. The first thing that caught my eye about this race, maiden special 3-year-olds, you look for Todd Pletcher trains horses. Sure enough, there was one. Looked like a legitimate contender, and then I looked at the jockey, Carlos Marquez. So where's Johnny Velazquez? Is he riding for somebody else? Is he not riding in this race? Here's Velazquez. He shows up on this European import. This horse has never run in America. It's not going for a big-name trainer, and yet John Velazquez has first call on all Pletcher's horses, and he's elected to ride here. Why is that? My guess is either Velazquez or his agent knows something that is not obvious in the past performances. That's good enough for me at 12-1. So in the finale, I'll take number 8, Wet One. We'll come back tomorrow with a preview of the Saturday card, which should be a good one. We've got 2 stakes races going. I'll be out there for the day. Looking forward to another good weekend at Gulfstream Park.